أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. هيا على السلام. هيا على السلام. هيا على الفلاح. هيا على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Thank you. Okay, assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Bayat Khalid, and I'll be your moderator for today. Thank you very much for making it this far into the Ramadan Summit. Kara, we've reached the end finally. Today's our last talk, our last day, our last spark of inspiration for you before we hit Eid. And speaking of Eid, I want to wish you all a blessed and wonderful Eid Mubarak. I hope you enjoy this time with your family. Now, about the Ramadan Summit, as you know, it is the concluding part of our Design Post-COVID Humanity program, so you may listen to people with inspiring stories and messages and take any valuable lessons you learn with you for the rest of your life. Ramadan is a month of peace and blessings, and inshallah, we hoped to add a touch of inspiration to that this year as well, and hopefully it worked. So if you've been keeping up with our talks, thank you so much, and we hope you've been finding them useful, and welcome if you are new. As usual, our speaker will give a talk and we'll have a Q&A session after. So please feel free to type in your questions in the chat as we go along, or use the raise your hand feature so we can call on you to speak. Unfortunately, our other speaker, Reem, had to cancel due to a medical emergency, but that means more time to spend with our youngest speaker so far, Alanoud Al Hitmi. Alanoud is in grade 6. She attends Qatar Academy School in Doha. She likes swimming and all sports and art. And her achievements include leadership roles like activist in Action and Student Council from 2019 and 2020. She made some initiatives with the help of Qatar Charity and Dreama and got rewarded with the High Minister of the Ministry of Environment because she shared her ideas with him related to the environment. She won the Excellence Reward with the Platinum Reward and got rewarded by the Sheikh of Qatar himself, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, in 2001. And her topic for today is Our Environment is Our Future. So please, Alanoud, go ahead and inspire us.
Next slide, please. My name is Alanoud Al Hitmi. I'm currently a grade 6 student of Qatar Academy Doha. Firstly, I would like to say I'm with Palestine. I hope for a peaceful resolution during these saddening and troubled times. The Palestinian people have fought so hard for so long for what they believe in, and may Allah have mercy and give His blessings for the protection of our Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm honored to be joining this Zoom conference and look forward to speaking about a topic that's close to my heart. In a recent project at school, I focused on recycling and how we can reduce waste in the community. One of the materials I actively recycled in my home was plastic. Plastic pollution is a massive environmental issue that is not just local to Qatar or the Middle East, but to the whole world. Single-use plastic are entering our ocean and having devastating effects. Estimated size of 1.6 million square kilometers, 3 times the size of France. And this is just one area of plastic waste. Think about it for a moment. Next slide, please. Why we all need to care about single-use plastic pollution? There are lots of reasons why we need to care. Plastic pollution has a direct and deadly effect on wildlife. Thousands of seabirds and sea turtles, seals, and other marine animals are killed each year after ingesting plastic or getting entangled on it. Did you know that the major impact of plastic bags on the environment is that it takes many hundreds of years for them to decompose? Did you know that not only does banning single-use plastic reduce pollution, but it also reduces demand for plastic production that's contributing to global climate change? The toxins from the plastics have entered the food chain, threatening human health. Also, did you know that by 2050, researchers believe that there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean as the rate of plastic production and plastic pollution continues to compound with each coming year. Here in the photos, we could see an ocean filled with plastic, which is very sad. And the other picture, we could see like a turtle mistaking plastic for food. Next slide, please. My journey in activism action. So I attend QAD, a school that truly values environmental educator and student empowerment. QAD has a student leadership called Activism Action. Our mission is to take action in our community. So here's our Instagram if you guys want to follow. It's called @Agency in Action. And we made a website for people to, if they want to support us into banning plastic bags. And currently we have over 7,000 petitions signed. So here's the website link if you guys want. After researching, we decided our first mission should be to ban single-use plastic bags in Qatar. You might think we're kids, we can't do that. It would be impossible for kids to do that. But no, we're actually very close into accomplishing it. By focusing our efforts and committing to changing our use and demand for single-use plastic, we're supporting 5 major UN Sustainable Development Goals: life on land, life below water, responsible consumption, sustainable communities, climate change. So as a group of activists in action, it was very clear for us that we needed to do something to support the eco school mission and to do our part to help solve some of the problems with single-use plastic, particularly single-use plastic bags. Our efforts fit with the Sustainable Development Goals, especially focusing on reducing and cleaning up waste. Rather than think about what we do as individuals, we wanted to go bigger and make real systemic change happen. So, as I said, our petitions, we have 1,264 written petitions and 7,364 online petitions. And our Instagram is @Agency in Action. So I have a question for you guys. What's an action you can take to help raise environmental awareness in our community? If you guys could write it in chat.
Can you repeat the question?
What's an action you can take to help raise environmental awareness in our community? Like, what's an action you can do to help raise awareness? Volunteering. Yeah, you could volunteer. Yeah, also you could get more dustbins where people can dispose plastics. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Yeah, start a campaign. That's also a very good idea. Okay, next slide, please. How can you be an activist in action? There are many ways on how you could be an activist in action, but here are some. So, number one, read, learn, and reach out local experts in your community to seek more knowledge and information. So, some Instagram accounts I highly suggest for like environmental information is one @Greener and two Deep Qatar. They are environmental account based, and I highly suggest you go there and seek some information from there. Number two, make videos or posters to share your knowledge. Make videos about raising awareness about plastic. Make posters about also raising awareness, and maybe you could like hang them around your neighborhood or even in your home, just to share your knowledge with others. Number three, talk about environmental issues with friends and family. Share about the topic to your friends and family, so then they could pass it along to so that then they could pass it along. So just share some issues, tell them what's happening. Number 4 is create a petition and contact local businesses and government to express your concerns. So as I said earlier, Activists in Action created a petition, and that turned out really good. So I think you guys should create a petition and contact local businesses and government to express your concerns. Last one, encourage and support others to spread awareness and take action. You could encourage others, you could support others, and try to spread the word so that, for example, when we start now, we could, like, for example, we need to start now, so then in the future it might get a lot worse. So we could, like, start now. Here's a really nice quote I really like. It is, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Okay, next slide, please. How can you be a change maker? So here are my top 3. Number 1, reduce, reuse, refuse, repurpose, recycle. So reduce the amount of plastic you use on a daily basis. Reuse, for example, like your water bottle, reuse it and don't like just throw it, or even recycle. Refuse plastic, repurpose. For example, like when you go in a shop or anywhere and you see a plastic toy or anything, ask yourself, do you really want it? Will you like actually play with it, or like will it be like, will you have it for a long time or not? And lastly, recycle. Recycle the plastic you get. Instead of throwing it in the trash, you should recycle it. Number 2, even small changes can make a big difference. So like small changes, what I mean is like maybe use a bamboo toothbrush, or maybe when you go shopping, use a cloth bag instead of use a cloth bag instead of the plastic bag. That makes a huge difference. And number 3, take action. Be the change you want in the world. Take action. For example, do you want by 2050 the world to be worse, or do you want to start now, recycle, and start now and recycle, so then in the future it could be much better? It's your decision, but I think you should take action and be the change you want to be in the world. Next slide, please. So here, take action today. So adopt a more sustainable mindset. Live the 5 R's in your daily life. Start a social media page. Start a social media page for to aware people and raise awareness about plastic pollution. Support of local activists by uniting your efforts and voices. Again, as I said, try to spread the word, and lead today. Our future cannot wait. Yes, lead today. For example, like you could go outside your house, you will see many plastics there, and like you could collect it. So just start today and not wait. And COVID has taught us a great number of lessons. So as I said before, like we started Activists in Action in grade 5. Before COVID, we used to gather up and like talk about plastic research, go on trips. But COVID has taught us a great number of lessons. One being, the world is not as big as we think. We need to act now and put provocative measures in place to change our current trajectory. And here I went on, as you can see in the photos, I went on a beach cleanup in Shata El Harish and tried to collect as many plastics I could see with the help of my cousin. If you're wanting to take action as well, I highly recommend at Deep Qatar. They host beach cleanups, and I highly recommend you to see their page. There I saw lots of plastics, so you could go to any beach and you could take action. You don't only have to like go on a beach cleanup, you can do any other action. But yeah, next slide, please. Be courageous, share your passion. So here, as you can see, I was very privileged to go on an Instagram live to get interviewed by an account on Instagram called @greener.qa. We talked about plastic and how it's affecting us, and also we talked about my school campaign Actors in Action. I also was able to share my ideas on the live, like for your like toothbrush, instead use a bamboo toothbrush, use a cloth bag instead of a plastic bag. And additionally, a very special guest joined on the live, which is Mr. Hamad Khalifa, Mr. Hamad bin Khalifa Al Khalifa. He joined the live, and I was very privileged to do that. And again, some recommend if you're looking for accounts that are environmentally based, I have three in mind. Number one, greener.qa. This is a person I did the live with. Agency in Action, which is my school campaign, Activists in Action's Instagram, and Deep Qatar, which hosts like beach cleanups. And yeah, next slide, please. So, meeting the head minister of the Ministry of Environment, I had the honor, privilege to have an interview with the head minister of the Ministry of Environment, His Excellency Mr. Abdullah bin Abdul Aziz al-Sabi'i, to share some of my ideas on how to help the environment. And also, I shared my experiences as a young Qatari student leader. So, some of my ideas were to plant more trees in Qatar so that like we could have more trees, make a program on plastic, talking about how it's affecting us, how we can fix it, what you can do to help it, so then Qatari people could like we could raise awareness from that. So these were my ideas. Next slide, please. So here, this is an environmental quote from the Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو فضل على العالمين. صدق الله العظيم, which basically means in English that God created the universe in its fullest and best form, and He commanded us not to spoil the earth after its reform. Next slide, please. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for the College of Hamad bin Khalifa for honoring me for this opportunity. And I would like to thank all the local experts that have inspired me. So now I'll take questions, and I would be very happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alanoud. I just wanted to clarify that it's the Hamad Al Khalifa University College of Islamic Studies, but it's okay. I think a lot of people get confused with that. Okay, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the very first thing that came out of you, which was the support for Palestine. You know, I'm a Palestinian, and what's been happening over there has really been just devastating, and especially for people who are not in Palestine, who feel helpless, you know, the Palestinians who are watching their home being, you know, destroyed and not being able to do anything about it. So really thank you for the support. And I also wanted to say that, mashallah, you're so young, but you've done so much. And this is great. Like, youth like you give us hope for the future. And I think you're getting a lot of support as well. Like, just judging by all the comments that are coming in, you're getting a lot of hearts, a lot of people saying, mashallah, so proud. The future is bright if we have young leaders like you. Good luck. It's so refreshing to see people like Alanoud in action and leading by example. You're the best. So you're a true role model. Thank you. So you're getting a lot of amazing support and feedback. So mashallah, really, they're not wrong to be saying all of this stuff about you.
Thank you.
So we do have one question. But before I get to that, I just wanted to also make a comment about the last thing you said. So the first thing and the last thing, which was the ayah al-Qur'aniyya that you shared with us. I think, I completely believe that the environment and looking after the environment is such a huge part of our religion, yet for some reason it's neglected a lot, which is very shameful, because our religion does not only focus on our relationships with other people, or praying and fasting and all of these mandatory things. A big part of it is looking after our environment, not wasting water, for example. Yet we tend to ignore all of these things. So thank you for highlighting the religious aspect of it. We'll take our first question from Vinod from South Africa. He said, besides plastics, what other environmental issues concern you, such as air pollution, gas emissions, erosion of greenery and land, drought, etc.?
I think climate change like changed a lot, and also air pollution. It's like air pollution is very bad. It's from like factories or any other stuff. Even birds are dying from the smoke. So I think air pollution.
Okay, thank you for that. I'll be taking E's question, and then we'll move on to Takang. So E said, Alanoud, do you think Qatar is ready to ban single-use plastic?
Yeah, definitely. I think they are ready. Hopefully, we won't be the last country to ban single-use plastic. But yeah, I really think Qatar is ready, since on the petition 7,000 or more people signed it. So I think like lots of people support this idea. But yeah, I think Qatar is ready to ban single-use plastic bags.
Yeah, inshallah. I mean, I myself use I bought a water bottle recently when I was living with my parents. We used to always drink from the single-use plastic, and I felt so guilty about it, but I never did anything about it. And then when I got married and I moved out, we have a water tank, and we always reuse our water bottles. And me and my husband were both trying to convince our families to do that as well. But I don't know why, this older generation, they can't be convinced. So inshallah khair. Okay, Takang, if you would like to ask your question.
Oh, thanks very much. Hello, dear sister. It was a good one from you. I was like, I was listening to a master's thesis being defended on environment. Great, great, great. It got 1,000 applause from me. I want to ask you, if you had the opportunity to meet Greta Thunberg, have you had the opportunity to meet her? I think if you probably have to meet her, you guys are going to form a good tag team. I'm very serious. So probably try to do your best, try to get in contact with her. I don't know how you're going to do it. So you guys can form a good tag team, like a Ronaldo Messi tag team when it comes, when it concerns football. My question is, do you receive support from your age mates, probably in your class and back in your in the neighborhood that you stay in, and what kind of support? Is it moral, financial, spiritual, and a lot more? Thanks again. I'm honored. You're giving the best sermon at the last day of this session.
Yeah, I definitely get support from my family and school. So, like before, I didn't really know much about this problem. But when I went to grade 5, I knew this campaign, Actors in Action, and I decided to join. And then from that campaign, I learned a lot. So yeah, from my school, I definitely get lots of support. And thank you.
Nice. Thanks.
So I think the other question was if you've ever met Greta Thunberg, or if you plan to collaborate with her.
Oh yeah, I know her. Oh, I never met her, but yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities between you two. You're both passionate about the same things, and you're both so young, mashallah. Okay, we're going to take our question from Fatima, and then we're going to ask Dr. Abran to ask his question. But Fatima is asking, do you think there are any precautions the governments should take regarding plastic pollution?
Yeah, they for example, I don't really know, but I think, yeah, they should.
I would say at least in Qatar, not even in Qatar, in the Arab world in general. Like I've traveled to all different parts of the world, and I noticed that in Europe and in I heard, I haven't been there, but I heard in like in Asia, like Korea, Japan, and definitely in like the US and Canada, they have at least like the law where you have to recycle at home, and they collect the garbage once a week, and you can, yeah, like you're only allowed to have one garbage bag of like actual waste, like waste that can't be recycled, like food, for example. Like orange peels or banana peels, these things don't get recycled. So you're only allowed to have one bag of those a week. And I'm just imagining, like, for the houses that we have now, how many bags of of waste do we fill up in a week? And it's because we don't recycle. But it's unlimited, the amount of recycling bags you have. Like if you have a lot of plastic, like water bottles, whatever, and you recycle those bags are unlimited, so that they can like reduce the number of waste coming out of each house, and they force people to recycle. And I think that I haven't been to a single Arab country that does that. So I would say probably start there. I don't know. Okay, so Dr. Evren, would you like to ask your question?
Of course. First of all, dear Sister Alanoud, as the Maker Majlis Design Post-COVID Humanity platform, I want to thank you a million times for being with us here. And I'm so sorry, my video option is not working today. It's such a shame, but I wish I was able to open my camera, but I'm sorry for that. Okay, first of all, I genuinely believe that you should not meet Greta Thunberg. She should come and meet you, actually. So I certainly believe that. You are the new generation. I am really indebted to their sister Iman El Obeidli for putting us in contact and being with us. But I really believe that you will accomplish much more than what Greta Thunberg did. I truly, genuinely believe in this. And when we built the Maker Majlis platform in 2019, almost more than 2 years ago, in our first exhibition, in our first event, Aisha Al-Madid, the Greener Qatar, actually, was also one of the participants. She had a booth, actually. And I always actually cherished what she does. So it is really great to see that you have been doing work with her. And this means that you are a true and authentic representative of the idea and the philosophy of Maker Majlis. It's a space where the youth is connecting with sustainable development goals and also sensitive to local problems, but with a lot of global implications. So in Maker Majlis, we brought together Islam, Qatar National Vision 2030, and Sustainable Development Goals. And therefore, I would like to invite you to be our actually young leader for Maker Majlis and to support us and to collectivize our resources with your dynamism, with your support. I think we can do a lot of work together. And believe me, the youth, the adults have so much to learn from you, okay? And I want to ask a question, by the way, two questions, in fact. Other than this invitation, I hope you accept this invitation. But in addition, I have two questions. One, who inspires you in life? I mean, when you think of your future, when you think of what you do, when you think of life in general, who really makes a difference for you? This is my question number one. And my question number two, what do you want to study? Or do you have any decision about your career? Because you're so remarkable, and I just want to see, because in your age, I was literally doing nothing, and I just want to know what a person in the age of 12 with so many accomplishments like you have in mind for career.
So for the first question, my teacher in school, she inspired me a lot. Her name is Miss Kennedy, and my parents inspired me a lot. And in like environmentally based, greener, deep Qatar, access and action, lots of people. And for the second question, and for the second question, I really like art. I really wanted to take that for the future, but I still don't know. But like one of my one of my options are art.
Perfect, perfect. All the best there, Alanoud, and we need your support for our next events. Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. We will stay connected. And as you know, you are the last speaker of Design Post-COVID Humanity Ramadan Talks, and your impact will stay for a year, you know, until the Ramadan 2022, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emin, for your question, and thank you, Alanoud, for answering. We have another question from Jose. What's your advice for students in other schools that would like to have a program like Activists in Action? How can they start? And then Takang is also asking if you have a social media page, so maybe you can type it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll type like my social media page in the chat.
And then we'll take the question from Vinod. But for now, yeah, what's your advice for students in other schools?
To like work on themselves, work on themselves, try to join as many activities you can. This will like help you for the future. That's what I'm doing right now. Like work on yourself, empower others, spread the word, raise awareness, like focus on school, like that.
Thank you for that. Vinod, where are you? You had a question.
Alanoud, yes, mashallah, you you know, your presentation was great. Actually, me being from South Africa, you have put Qatar on the international map, and what you have presented, you could be my daughter. You know, South Africa is a very beautiful country. And you, at the beginning, when you mentioned the Quranic verse, that, you know, this is a beautiful country. We always had this idea of Qatar and all the Middle Eastern countries, the Arab countries were mostly desert and so on. Maybe that is true to a certain extent. South Africa is a very beautiful country, a lot of mountains, a lot of rivers, a lot of greenery. We are actually a garden country. Whoever have been to this country really falls in love. But environmentally, we are beginning to see the decay from our beaches are polluted, our mountains are fire, you know, there are fires all the time. Our rivers are polluted. We have the best fishes, and yet, you know, we cannot fish wherever we want to. We are suffering from lack of rain, drought, food, farmlands, land is eroded, greenery is been cut down, making way for highways and so on. So all this natural environment which existed according to the divine plan seems to be disrupted. I wish at some point in your life you will have the opportunity, and I've extended an invitation to you as my daughter, to come and look around this country, and then we need your guidance as to what can be done. As the previous um, speaker had said, you know, you are the new generation, and even at this stage, feel very inspired. So yes, I commend for what you are doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. So if these are all the questions we have, I guess we can come to a closing now. So thank you so much, Alanoud. Do you have any last words that you would like to say?
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I had so much fun, and hopefully I will do more in the future. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and thank you for all the kind words in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have no doubt that you will rock the world in the future, inshallah. And inshallah, we can learn from you as well and make changes. Dr. Evran, do you want to say anything?
Thank you
You're
again,
unmuted yourself.
dear Sister Alanoud. Once again, inshallah, we look forward to having you in our next events. And dear Bayan, thanks for the great moderation. Now I feel that it is your turn. Now Bayan is sharing an amazing poem with us.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so since you mentioned Alanoud, the situation that's going on in Palestine, for years I've been writing poems for Palestine because you know, I'm very passionate about the Palestinian cause, and I'm very vocal about it. So Dr. Evran asked me to share one of my poems, given the circumstances right now. So if you will all allow me, I guess I will go ahead. Okay, so this poem is actually one of the very first poems I wrote for Palestine. And the reason I'm saying this one instead of like other ones is because it's more relevant now than it was ever before. Sorry, one second. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, it's more relevant now than it has ever been, but it has always been relevant. So it's called Sacrifice. Hello, everyone. My name is Bayan. Allow me to introduce to you a story of who I am. Just an ordinary girl, last name's Khalid, with an extraordinary story. Now, trust me, that fact is valid. Born and raised in my home country, my beautiful Palestine, except that land was taken away from me, so it's no longer mine. Now, let me take you back all the way to the start, all the way back to the very first beat of my heart. I've got one mother, one brother, but too bad, I was missing a father. Shame, he was gone too soon, well before he could ever meet his daughter. But however did he leave? It's not like it was his choice. He'd been tortured, beaten, and he'd yelled till he lost his voice. Watching as our dad was being stripped away from us, oh, my poor brother. He swore he'd seek vengeance one way or another. 6 months later, I was born. Oh, what a joy. Except we were homeless and so broke we couldn't even afford a toy. How was she expected to raise 2 kids on her own, and our only source of income had been stabbed to the bone? But my brother managed to take care of us pretty well. He collected a bunch of stuff that he would trade and he would sell. Eventually, he kept thinking this just wasn't enough. He decided to join the army, figured he had to be tough, get back our father's pride once and for all, until he too was gone at war and my mom and I began to fall. 2 down, 2 to go. What now? Work as slaves? It was better to earn a living than make our way to our graves. And just as we thought things couldn't get any worse, we'd been kicked out of our own country. It's like our lives had been cursed. And now we're running from Jordan to Lebanon to Syria, trying to calm my mother down from her state of hysteria. A lot of years later, she grew old and became so sick, with no one else to help her out but me and a stack of bricks. I can see her trying so hard to fight death, but we both knew she'd soon reach her last breath. The day finally came when I had to be all on my own, little Miss Independent who'd lost everything she'd ever known. Well, look here. And then there was one, awaiting the day that there would be none. There's nothing left for me to do but fight back for everything I once had, from my home, to my mother, to my brother, to my dad. I decided I'd come back whether they liked it or not. I already lost so much. It didn't matter if I got caught. They've taken away my land and they've taken away my beloved family. I had to fight back on behalf of my people and everything that was taken away from me. I'm prepared to be. I'm prepared to sacrifice me and everything around me, just so my home country can finally be free. Because freedom costs 1 million lives. So what if my country is finally free, but I didn't get to survive? Let me take you back to that innocent little girl. She may not have been me specifically, but she's definitely out there in the world. Her and all her people have already lost enough. The least we could do is pray that things don't get so rough. It's time to get back our freedom once and for all, and not just for Palestine, but for the entire Arab world before it starts to fall. If only we can do everything that we say, then maybe, just maybe, we can start to free our homes today. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bayan. It's very difficult to say anything after the poem, and congratulations for. I feel so honored that actually I work with you, and having a researcher like you actually is such a blessing, and I'm really honored. Every day I really feel that it's such a great, like opportunity and experience, and seeing this side of you actually apart from the professional world, and which is an important part of your identity. So, wow.
Thank you so much.
Dear everyone, I guess it's time to say goodbye to the Ramadan Summit, which was a fantastic opportunity for all of us. And also it marked the end of Design Post-COVID Humanity, Ta'aruf, Ta'awun, and Tarahum initiative. Our intention was to influence and to inspire the youth to think of their past, their identity, their heritage, and to get more acquainted with themselves, with their families, with their history, with their identity, and cooperate, ta'awun, and then show mercifulness, tarahum, to make the world a better place. So I believe we accomplished the mission. And today, just today is itself, the presenters of today, is, I believe, the biggest and largest and most visible proof that we have accomplished. So thank you so much. Today is the end of the Ramadan Summit. Tomorrow there won't be any, but our events will continue. Please stay tuned and enjoy the Eid Mubarak. All the best, everyone. Sorry, I'm emotional. I don't know what to say. So it was a terrible ending, but all the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your kind words. Thank you, Alanoud, for coming and giving your talk today, and for everyone for interacting and engaging with us. Thank you, Dr. Evren, for having this idea of the Ramadan Summit. It's honestly been my favorite thing to be involved in since I started working at HBKU 2 or 3 years ago. Can't remember now. But anyway, thank you, everyone, and we hope to see you again in other events and initiatives under Maker Majlis. Eid Mubarak.
Mubarak.